Here is Tucker Carlson on the Rubin Report.
We have the internet to expose the lies. If this isn't 20 years ago when you were on CNN, and we couldn't expose things, we can expose it now, and they still do it.
Well, I guess I would ask myself, like, I mean, I lie.
Sam's hulking masculinity. 20 years ago, we did have the internet. Yes, that's...
So, Sam Seder, that's his only point. Tucker Carlson, he's a news guy. He's on Fox News. He just admitted that he lied. The only point he wants to make is, Jesus, Sam Seder, we did have the internet, 20 years ago. That's, I lived in a rural area. We didn't have the internet like 25 years ago. So it was just getting going. It was just getting started. I was in a rural area. In the house, we had dial-up. At high school, you had computer lab, so you'd get, 1 hour of computer time, but only what the teacher told you to do or whatever. So, a bunch of dumb shit. So we had dial-up, and we had 1 hour of computer lab time. And, then went to college, and there was, internet all over the place in college. So, if you're a rich asshole, then you probably got, and if you're in a urban area, so if you're rich in the city, you got internet maybe a little bit before everybody, but what, 95, 96? So Dave Rubin probably should have said, what, 26 years ago? 26 years ago when we didn't have the internet, he should have rounded up or some shit. He's acting like this is the biggest, this is a fucking Dave Rubin video. Hey, Sam Seder, why don't you stop fucking platforming Dave Rubin? This is just like how Donald Trump, the media give Donald Trump all that free publicity. Donald Trump's going to say something stupid and crazy, right? So let's just sit there and have a, video of a podium and make sure, all these motherfuckers have Trump in their fucking videos and shit. Jesus Christ, motherfuckers. Sam Seder, quit platforming Dave Rubin. You just about got Larry Elder to be your fucking governor. Do you want Dave Rubin to be your governor next year? You got a governor's race 1 year from now. And then when it comes to platforming people, I don't know why Sam Seder doesn't platform, John Robert Drake or David Moore. You got a Trotskyist, you got Green Party people, you got Democrats, you got a whole bunch of people that ran in the recall election. Joel Ventresca, you had Mike Loebs, Dan Kapelovitz. So why don't, goddamn Sam Seder platform them? If Sam Seder, this is an Obama thing. Someone pointed out, Trevor Noah told Obama that he, criticized Trump, and then he ran for the fucking thing, and then he did something else, and then they did the thing, and so he keeps on shitting on his enemies, and then it, makes his enemies step up and, go above and beyond. And so Obama would say, well, maybe I should, pick on my friends more, because if I'm just making my enemies stronger with, by making fun of them, so maybe I should, kind of, so I think, yeah, maybe we should, you don't want to break your friends or whatever, but, perhaps we should be more critical of, of each other, of your friends, because, if it's not your friends that's telling you own some bullshit, then it's going to be your fucking enemies, and, you'd rather your friends say it. So, yeah, Brandon Ross got 6%. Hey, Sam Seder, you had a big, California recall election. Brandon Ross had 6%. He got 6% of the vote without Sam Seder platforming him. You helped Larry Elder and Dave Rubin get the popularity that they have right now. Why don't you look at Brandon Ross? Why don't you fucking pick on Brandon Ross? None of these goddamn Dave Rubin videos are takedown videos. Is Dave Rubin the dumbest person on YouTube? Is he the dumbest person on YouTube because he said 20 years ago when we didn't have the internet instead of 27 years ago? And then, 20 years ago, I didn't have the fucking internet. So, it depends on where you were at in the country, if you're, rich or in the city. And so, what the fuck, Sam Seder? Fucking Sam Seder keeps on platforming Dave Rubin. You just about got Larry Elder fucking elected. Why don't you platform David Moore, Dan Kapelovitz, Michael Loebs, Drake, Joel Ventresca, and Brandon Ross? Brandon Ross got 6%. In spite of you fucking bastards not platforming him. Brandon Ross got 6% of the vote. He was the only progressive, Democrat that actually showed in the top 5. So that should have been the person that everybody coalesced around. You voted no in the recall, and then we should have all voted for Brandon Ross. That's, he was the strongest one. He was on his own. He got 6%. So that's my philosophy. You go with the super duper progressive, the strongest super duper progressive. That's who you have to vote for every time. Every time. It works 60% of the time, every time. So there you go. Let's listen to Dave Rubin. Is Dave Rubin the dumbest person on YouTube? Because actually Dave Rubin's saying a lot of common sense shit.
And big tech.
He's pissed about the California recall, so he's going to have a clip of Gavin Newsom, and Gavin Newsom is going to list a bunch of shit about how it's a victory for this, this, and this, and then Dave Rubin is going to go point by point and how it's not a victory for science, it's not a victory for, you know, everything that...
the Democrats treated just horribly Larry Elder. First, Newsom after he won the recall election.
No is not the only thing that was expressed tonight. I want to focus on what we said yes to as a state. We said yes to science. We said yes to vaccines. We said yes to ending this pandemic. We said yes to people's right to vote without fear of fake fraud or voter suppression. We said yes to women's fundamental constitutional right to decide for herself what she does with her body, her fate and future. We said yes to diversity. We said yes to inclusion. We said yes to pluralism. We said yes to all those things that we hold dear as Californians, and I would argue as Americans: economic justice, social justice, racial justice, environmental justice.
God, I do not like that horrifically fake man. Everything he said there was an absolute lie. We did not say yes, we as Californians, to those things. I'll actually go through them one at a time. Yes to science. Okay, Gavin Newsom, how many genders are there? Because science has something to do with that. So did you say yes to science or no to science? You let me know. Yes to vaccines. Actually, Larry Elder is vaccinated himself because he has a medical condition, and often said on the trail, if you want to get vaccinated, go ahead, but I'm not going to mandate it for you. So yes to vaccines. I mean, yeah, I guess you're for forcing everyone to do what you want them to do, but that was a lie too. Then he says, I scribbled it down really quick. I can't even read what I wrote. End the pandemic. He said yes to ending the pandemic. Well, you're the guy that's been in charge for the last year and a half, and obviously it's not gone so well here because...
This is a lot of thoughtful stuff. He had said something about the craziness of critical race theory and social justice. And critical race theory and social justice can get out of hand. I was discriminated against by white women because of critical race theory. And white women, is that what Malcolm X was talking about when he was talking about FUBU, black people standing up, being proud, and, you know, not taking any shit? He was saying, you know what, the kind of world that I see is that finally the white woman gets some damn power. White woman had power during the KKK era. White woman's got power under liberals. White woman has power all over the fucking place. She got too much power. She barely even has to fucking try, and everybody acts like, oh my gosh, you put your shoes on and you ordered some goods and then sold the goods? Woman's doing fine. Woman's doing great. If you're not, I'm sure somebody would listen and somebody would give a shit. For 40 fucking years, y'all been nothing but fucking piece of shit fucking assholes. I have to beg you motherfuckers just to... I don't want y'all to hurt my kids, and I cannot be 100% sure that living in this neighborhood around these criminal motherfuckers, that these pieces of shit won't do anything to my kids, and then I have to be able to stop them from hurting my kids. And because I live in this county, I don't know if I'm allowed to. I know that I'll have to. But if I have to, and everybody's in favor of... I'm going to raise my kids without beating the fuck out of them in this. You motherfuckers, you don't like that? Well, you know, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm going to raise my family without abusing them, and I'm going to raise my family in a crime-free neighborhood, whether you motherfuckers like it or not.
Because you were playing commercials saying that Larry Elder was going to kill everybody. So you obviously haven't ended the pandemic. So you're a liar on that one. Yes to right to vote. Actually, Larry is not against people's right to vote.
Last thing I'll say, and I give him, 5 minutes or whatever, but anytime anybody in California, Jackson Hinkle's like, don't tell me how to vote, don't tell me how to vote. Anytime anybody in California, you want to get into Colorado politics, and you want to look at the platforms of long-shot candidates in the Green Party and the Democrats and the Trotskyists and shit and compare and contrast, and for, 2 weeks nonstop become a fucking expert in Colorado politics, be my guest. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. Please do all that fucking research. Please do all that fucking free fucking labor and goddamned work. Have a conversation with me. That'd be nice. Talk about the betterment of my fucking state. That'd be nice. If we would have had a conversation, we would have got to Brandon Ross as, the strongest candidate. But, yeah, anytime California, anytime anybody wants to, go ahead and meddle in Colorado elections, please do. Please, go ahead. Give me your opinion. Try to tell people to vote this way or that way. I'm okay with people meddling or trying to influence elections. I can't stand intimidation. I can't stand coercion. You're trying to influence. Influence is fine. That's persuasion. You're allowed to try to persuade people of your position. You're allowed to try to influence people, persuade them. You're not allowed to, fucking force. You're not allowed to be a fascist piece of shit, motherfucker. Obey you or what? No, I'm sick of you wife-beating motherfuckers. You admire a wife-beater? Fuck you.
Most sane people, except screwball progressives like you guys, just want people to show IDs to vote. I did not have to show an ID to vote. I could have walked back into the polling place the next day and pretended to be my neighbor because I know his name and address. So the idea that somehow you're protecting the right to vote is just nonsensical. You said yes to women's rights. You're very concerned what a woman does with her body. Now, it is true that Larry Elder is pro-life. That's about the life of the baby, not about the life of the woman. Larry wants women to be able to make whatever medical choices they want to make for themselves. So I'll give you like half on that one. You're a liar, but the whole abortion thing has gotten so messy that you're half a liar on that one, but pretty much a liar. Yes on diversity. Oh, well, you actually just stopped the black guy, and you're a white, privileged millionaire douchebag, and you treated him horribly, and the media pretended he was a black white supremacist and the rest of it, so that was a lie. Inclusion, same one. It's just one of your ridiculous phrases. Pluralism, again, no. What do you mean, pluralism? You all think the same. This is not a pluralistic group of people that voted for you. It's a bunch of clones. And then all the things we hold dear. I'm fairly certain, Gavin Newsom, none of the things you hold dear are the things that I hold dear, and I'm at least a citizen in this state for now. Now, on to Larry Elder thanking his supporters.
My opponent, Governor Gavin Newsom. Come on. Let's be gracious. Let's be gracious in defeat. And by the way, we may have lost the battle, but we are going to win the war.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, and I look forward to continuing on the battlefield with Larry one way or another, regardless of what state either one of us live in at that point. But if you watch the rest of Larry's speech, he's humble, he's gracious, he's thankful, and just to put a final cap on that, and then I know I have a bunch of questions about my future here in the state and everything else.
Dave Rubin is not the